Welcome back to Thread and Petal, everyone. Got a torn shirt, a gaping neckline, or a pair of jeans with a rip that makes you second-guess wearing them? Don't write them off just yet. With a few basic stitches and a dash of creativity, those seemingly hopeless flaws can easily turn into eye-catching design details. In today's video, I'm sharing 4 simple sewing hacks, from creating a soft gathering effect on tops and transforming tiers into decorative embroidery, to fixing low necklines and turning frayed jeans into custom accents. Be sure to stick around until the very end because our final hack is a total game changer for old, distressed denim. Tip 1. Creating a side ruching effect on a t-shirt. We're kicking things off with an incredibly simple way to give a plain t-shirt a fresh, modern edge. I'm going to add a subtle ruched detail right along the side seam. Once you've defined the section for gathering, use a basic running stitch to sew along the marked line. Your stitches don't need to be long, just keep them reasonably uniform. The key is maintaining a consistent line so the fabric gathers evenly when you pull the thread. If you love the subtle charm of this gathered detail, give it a go on an old t-shirt. You can easily tweak the length of your stitching section to dial the gathering up or down depending on your style preference. As you reach the end, gently draw the thread tight to make the fabric gradually cinch into neat, delicate gathers. Once you've achieved your ideal amount of gathering, anchor the thread securely in place and snip off the excess. And that's all there is to it. With just a few simple stitches, the side seam now features a gorgeous ruched detail. And it gives the tee an effortlessly chic, youthful vibe, and it couldn't be easier to pull off. If your plain old t-shirts are feeling a bit tired, give this tip a try to revamp them. Now let's move on to tip number 2. Tip 2. Mending a tier with decorative stitching. This shirt has a rather noticeable tier right on the front. But don't write it off just yet. Instead of hiding it, today I'm going to transform that tear into a unique decorative motif. To start, I'll mark key reference points around the damaged area to map out a diamond shape. You don't necessarily have to stick to a diamond like mine. Feel free to swap it for a square, triangle, or any decorative shape that complements your garment. Once marked, secure the fabric in an embroidery hoop. The hoop keeps the material taut and prevents shifting while you sew, making it so much easier to craft your motif. Now, use a backstitch to trace the outline of the diamond. The backstitch offers exceptional strength, making it ideal for defining clean, crisp borders that hold their shape. Take your time and aim for even, consistent stitches. A neat outline makes all the difference in the final look. If you've made it this far into the video, take a look through your wardrobe. You might just find a tier that's begging to be transformed into a custom detail like this. Once the border is complete, pass the needle back and forth to connect the opposite sides of the diamond. I'm linking 2 sides here to form a grid of horizontal lines. Feel free to repeat this across the remaining sides for vertical lines, or combine both to create a richer, more prominent woven pattern. At this point, the diamond motif is really starting to take shape. To make it pop, I'm bringing in a contrasting thread color to create an alternating woven effect inside. Take your time here and keep a close eye on the pattern. The more precise those interwoven strands are, the cleaner the motif looks and the more deliberate the overall design feels. Resist the temptation to rush this step. A little extra patience makes a world of difference. And here's the final result. The original tear is completely concealed, replaced by a striking, custom motif right on the front of the shirt. Isn't that amazing? A flaw that seemed like a total deal breaker has transformed into a stylish focal point. If you were making this, what thread colors would you pick for the pattern? Drop your favorite combination in the comments below. Now, let's jump right into tip number 3. Tip 3. Fixing a gaping neckline with an invisible stitch. When a neckline stretches out and drops too low, a shirt loses its silhouette and no longer flatters the way it used to. For this top, I'm going to clean up that low neckline using a sleek ladder stitch. To begin, prep an insert fabric patch cut to match the neckline area you want to adjust. Position the patch on the inside of the neckline, making sure both sides are perfectly symmetrical. Then, pin the patch securely to the neckline fabric. I'm using a ladder stitch to secure the panel. I chose this stitch because the thread stays hidden internally, preventing any visible lines on the outside while keeping the fabric anchored firmly in place. It's the perfect technique when you want to tailor a garment detail without leaving a trace of the alteration. Aim for tiny, consistent stitches as you sew. This keeps the finish completely seamless so the front of the top retains its natural drape. If you love subtle, invisible clothing fixes, hit that thumbs up button to let me know. While I keep stitching away, take a moment to skim through your own closet. If you happen to find a top with a stretched out or plunging neckline that's been sitting unworn, don't write it off just yet. With a bit of crafty patience, you can easily alter it and restore its original structure. The neckline has been narrowed slightly and no longer gapes like it did before. The top keeps its natural silhouette, but now offers a far more refined and modest fit. And now, let's dive into our final tip. Tip 4. Patching a pants tier with an accent panel. These pants have a pretty glaring tear. Instead of trying to disguise it, I'm going to turn this spot into a standout design feature by adding a stylish patch. To start, I'll trace a decorative shape right over the torn area. I'm going with a heart for this project, but feel free to pick whatever motif catches your fancy. Next, slip a fabric patch beneath the tear and pin it securely in place. This backing not only conceals the tear underneath, but also serves as the ideal foundation for stitching your decorative motif. Next, trace along the heart's outline using a backstitch. Just like in tip 2, the backstitch creates a crisp, resilient border while anchoring the backing patch securely for everyday wear. You can opt for a color-matched thread for a subtle finish or pick a bold, contrasting shade to turn the motif into an eye-catching feature. Once the stitching is done, trim away the excess fabric right around the tear. Snip carefully to remove only the unwanted frayed material, taking care not to nick your stitches or the underlying patch securing the design. If you had a pair of ripped jeans, what shape would you go for? A heart, a star, or maybe a flower? Drop your ideas in the comments. And here is the final result. The tear has been transformed into a striking heart design on the pants. With just a dash of creativity, any flaw can become a standout feature. And that wraps up our 4 ways to repair and revamp your clothes. Don't throw away your old garments. You can easily give them a fresh new life right at home. Which trick was your favorite? Drop the tip number in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to Thread and Petal. See you all tomorrow for some fun, creative ways to upcycle old jeans. Thanks for watching.